Hey guys, hope you're good. So today we are talking making passive income using shares or stock. So make sure that you've got your coffee or your drink ready because it's about to go down. Alright, cool. So we're gonna look at how it works. We're gonna look at how to generate passive income, and then we're gonna look at how companies decide the dividends, and we're gonna look at the how to value a share before buying it. We're gonna look at how much you can make. We're gonna look at which companies to invest in, and then we can look at how to start investing. So which is like the interesting part. So yeah, just like I explained on the last video. So how it works is the company will make a portion of it available to the public so that we can be able to buy, and then they'll probably set a certain price, like a share price, which is like a share price. They'll be like, okay, one share is probably, let's say, 14 bucks. So you can buy more than one share. You can buy 10 shares, which would probably, let's say, if it's 14 bucks, it's gonna cost you 140 bucks. So then once you buy that, then you become a shareholder. Alright, cool. So in terms of ways to generate passive income, obviously you're looking at dividends. So normally when the company makes profit, they'll pay the shareholders. So since you've bought shares and you are a shareholder, you will get dividend or slash profit. So it's always good to look at companies that are doing well, and also companies that are paying high in terms of dividends. So some they range from 3% to some to even 100, some to more than 100%, depending on how much they've made. So it's always good to look at companies that are paying well. I'm also gonna give you the companies to look for at the end of this video. Alright, so in terms of how companies decide on dividends, it's not just only profit, hey? Yes, profit must be there, but must be enough for them to pay the dividends. So you have to understand that some companies they've got debts. Some they want to grow. So after looking at their financial statement for the year, and then they've added whatever they want to add, then the one that is remaining, that's where now the profit remaining. And obviously, like, profit is a major factor. If they don't make profit, they won't pay dividends. And then if they made profit, doesn't mean that they will pay dividends, because on top of that profit, obviously, just like I mentioned, you might have debts, you might have company wanting to grow, right? So in order to protect yourself against stuff like that, you probably need to look at the constant the dividend policy, which they call it constant payout ratio. So what it means that is that regardless of their debts, or if they want to grow, right, if the company's made profit, they have to pay you percentage of that profit. So if let's say they say, okay, we're gonna pay you 6% every year. If they make profit, then you're gonna get paid your 6%, regardless of they want to pay somebody else, or regardless of they want to grow. There's certain factors that probably can affect their profit, but as long as it's profit, you're gonna get your cut, right? So that's how it works. So I think it's one of the good things, but the downfall of it is now, unfortunately, since you've got constant ratio, if they make more than or 10 times, you're gonna get 6% of the profit. You get what I'm saying? So, and the disadvantage of it obviously becomes that some companies, when they make more profit, they end up going even to 38%, 40%. Some they probably giving 100% of your share price. So you end up getting 100% in terms of profit. So because obviously that one they don't have constant payout, but remember that you might get 30% this year, and then next year might not get anything. Yeah. So how do you value a share before buying? This is more like how to value a company before buying. There are a couple of ways to do it, right? One of the common ways is fundamental and technical, right? So I'm gonna start with fundamentals. When you talk about fundamentals, we're talking about the news. How is the company doing? So that's why when you need to invest in one of the big companies, because you always see them on the news. So you're gonna see, you gotta read articles about the company. So you're gonna see probably the news publishing how the company is doing, the plans of the company, And obviously you're looking at growth. You're looking at company that is like, aim at growing, company that is doing well. So that's how fundamentals work. You just need to know about the company, how the company is doing, the health of the company. You don't want to invest in company that's looking at retrenching employees and all of that, which means now the company is not doing good. You don't want to invest in company that has got, that is deep inside, debts. You get what I'm saying? So, and one of the things that most of people look at is the cheap stock price, right? So cheap is not always good. It's not always good, but obviously when you're buying a cheap stock, make sure that you've done those analysis. Right? Understand why did the stock price drop. You get what I'm saying? So as I'm saying, like, you need to do research about the company before investing in that company, right? And when we're talking about technical, we're talking about looking at, let's say, share price in January. You look at, okay, share price in January was this much. Look at now in March. Maybe let's say share price was $14. Now in March is $15. You see that, okay, now the share price is going up, which means that the company is doing well, right? But obviously that's just like a very short period. Look at probably how the company was doing in the last 5 years, right? Look at where it is now. Look at, when the company started, what was the share price, and today what is the current price. So that's how now you'll understand, or you can be able to make a decision in terms of which company shares to buy. So that's how it works. How much can you make? It depends on how much you invested, but putting that aside, let's talk about percentage. There is no limit in terms of how much you can make. It just depends on how much how much profit the company's made, right? So I've seen companies giving dividends of 40%, 45%, which is, I don't know how much is it, 10 times what your bank will give you annually if you were to invest your money in. And obviously we know that this the stuff comes with a bit of risk, so hence you need to do proper fundamental, I'll put in that way, research in terms of how the company is doing. And you don't really have to hold shares for years. You get what I'm saying? So if you feel like the company is not doing well, then you can pull out. So yeah. In terms of which companies to invest in, I'm not going to be specific, but it's more based on what are you looking at. Are you looking at high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward? If you're looking for low risk and low reward, so you can look at those big corporate companies that you see in so that you trust. So you can look at those big corporate companies. Those are ones that will probably give you plus minus around 8%, 6%, 10% when they've made good profit. And then if you're looking for high risk reward, we're looking at mining companies. They pay a ridiculous amount of dividends when they've made money, and they also have great comebacks. So I think also in terms of investing, you probably want to look at mining companies at a very low share price, and then buy a couple and sit back and relax. So yeah, I'll look at that. It depends on how you want to go. Are you a higher risk to reward person, or are you low risk to reward person? So yeah, you got to look at that. In terms of how to start and when you start this, there are a couple of platforms that will give you that opportunity for you to start investing. So it's up to you to do your research, and I'm gonna give you a few, but I like to put it out there that if I give you this few and then they start giving you problems, you mustn't come back to me. So as I'm saying, start doing research, and then obviously each and every platform has its own transaction fees, and yeah, obviously choose the one that is less transaction fee and trustworthy. So the ones that I use I'm using FNB, which is FNB 0, and inside to FNB app there's FNB 0, so you can find you can buy shares using that app of FNB. Another one is Easy Equities. I'm gonna leave the link in my description. So it's also another platform that you can use to buy shares in it. Yeah. Thank you for taking your precious time in watching this video. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Please leave a comment below, like and share the video as well. So in the next video, I'll be looking at making passive income using bonds, which is like a twist. This time you're not getting a loan, you are the one who's loaning the government, you are loaning the banks. So yeah, stay tuned, we'll be posting the video soon.